Let's dive right into week 2 of our Black History Month series. I have the honor to talk about a woman who pioneered her way from Montclair, New Jersey to Orono, Maine. She was a trendsetter, an amazing student, friend, cousin, and much more. Her light still shines through today. So let's get to know Phyllis Mayo, the first Black Winter Carnival Queen of the University of Maine.
She was well loved by so many people on that campus.
Kind, beautiful, strong, pioneer. Those are the words used to describe Phyllis Mayo, a woman from Montclair, New Jersey, who enrolled at the University of Maine as a journalism major in 1963.
You may not have ever known her and know how bubbly and effervescent she was, and smart. She was just really bright, you know.
She took her expertise to UMaine with quite the resume. She wrote for her high school newspaper, she was active in the YWCA, and she sang in the choir at her local church. She came from a well-structured and active family and didn't let anything stop her from achieving her goals. Her cousin Muriel says that's what she was taught. That's just in their DNA.
That pioneering spirit. I can do this, you know. If you can do it, I can do it.
Which is why it was no surprise to her family when she became the first Black Winter Carnival Queen at UMaine in 1964.
We could have been made to feel inferior. Yeah. You know, society worked hard to try to make us feel inferior. But you can tell from her life's work that never penetrated her.
Later on TV5 News, we'll learn more about Phyllis, her time at UMaine, and we'll meet a dear friend she made along the way. Back to you. Welcome back to week 2 of our Black History Month coverage. We told you a little bit about Phyllis Mayo earlier. In 1964, she was elected as the first Black Winter Carnival Queen at the University of Maine. So now we'll get to know more of her story, and we'll meet a friend that she met along the way.
I first met Phyllis Mayo when we were both assigned to adjacent seats in a college class.
That's Neil Ashton. He was a senior at UMaine when he met Phyllis, a junior. The two really connected.
We got talking, and it turned out that we appreciated each other. I had a couple of questions for her about how she was being treated on the University of Maine campus, because I knew a couple of years earlier she'd been elected as Queen of the Winter Carnival.
It was unusual that a freshman, let alone a Black woman, was elected as queen, but more than half the student body participated in the vote. It was clear Phyllis's loving spirit shined throughout the campus, and she and Neil shared something special.
She would always take my hand at the end of the dates and give me a kiss and say, "Hold that for me, I may want it back later." And that was one of the things I really enjoyed about Phyllis. She was a very good person.
Phyllis graduated and moved around the country, later landing a job in human resources at the Seattle Times. She passed away in 2009 after a battle with breast cancer. Neil was saddened by the news. He had hopes of reconnecting with his dear friend.
It's really emotional. She was, you know, a very brief personal part of my life. But I learned, I learned from her. I think she learned from me.
After researching her family and talking with her past employer, Neil discovered the light she always carried still shines to this day.
And that's how she did everything. That was the Phyllis that I remember. And I think that's the Phyllis we all need to remember.
Her cousin Muriel says if she could talk with Phyllis today, this is what she would say.
Thank you for being a trailblazer, and thank you for being true to who you are.
So that's Phyllis Mayo. As I got to know her cousins, it all makes sense. In fact, her family helped save one of the Tuskegee Rosenwald schools, the first schools built for Black students between 1913 and 1932. This queen will certainly always be an inspiration to never give up on your dreams, no matter who or what is in your way. Next week, we'll learn about an island that had the first mixed-race community in Maine. Back to you.